Good day. I warmly welcome you back to another presentation as we continue on this journey to find our precious child of our beloved sister Ruth Matthew. I appreciate your time. For this presentation, I just want to share some anomalies regarding the update we received from Prophex a few days ago regarding the charges that have been brought against Ruth Matthew. One thing that just made me laugh was the fact that they had a list of charges, in 1 to 11 of them, that were leveled against her. And for someone who hasn't ever been involved in court cases or proceedings, I'm very certain that the original intention of those charges were to startle Ruth Matthew, get her really, really frightened, and then she would be stimulated to give a confession. I'm certain that was the original intention for these bogus charges. Excuse me. But thank God who checkmated them, that she was not intimidated to go and confess in their shrine as was intended. Well, nevertheless, the case has continued, and now we are privy to the exact charges and against the people that have been offended in every one of those charges. Just as was rightly presented by Prophex, the charges were purely duplicated. There is only one charge, and that charge is, for me, saying that she falsely accused Jeremiah. But then a few other people's names have cropped up, which are really not the case. Because one thing I have known since I have followed this case, those supporters of Jeremiah, especially the ones who come to give with their ridiculous titles of prophetesses and prophets, they're very clever at presenting everybody who's been accused and everything. Who are these new people whose names appeared on the charges? The person who was the owner of the accommodation where she lodged, that was the only thing we heard about her being the owner, not her being the one who took the child. Likewise, Juliet, she mentioned that Juliet looked after the children. Juliet was with the women, she accompanied the women who came to ask Ruth Matthew for where to go buy something. And because she saw Juliet with them, that's one of the reasons why she felt confident that it was safe to send her children with them. And there is an Andy Magado. Andy, who is this person? Then the Jouyoz, the owner, Emmanuel Marcos, of course, had always been accused of stealing her phone charger and her bank card, which he stole 70,000 naira out of the account. And there is an Elijah person as well. I'm just appalled at where are these new entrants coming from? These people have an endless supply of stooges to use. It's so shameful, so shameful. The lies. And all the charges are they're all the same. You accuse this person of taking your child, you accuse this person of taking your child. Just childish, very childish proceedings. I just cannot believe that a so-called judge sits to listen to all those false accusations, ridiculous rubbish, while an innocent child is still missing. Bravo to you, Judge. Kudos. I hope you do not have children, grandchildren, nephews, nieces, or anyone who has children around you. May what is happening to Ruth Matthew not befall any of those people. I will not waste my breath on the role of the police in this, in that Kangaroo Court proceedings, because they are just, this is just purely a cash out season for them in that locality. That's what I see. They're all there making money for themselves, taking turns. The previous commissioner came, has done what he should do. He's gone and he's left the room for someone else to carry on. So yes, they're cashing out big time. For the law to be upheld anywhere, there has to be sensible, loyal, diligent, honest people to implement that law. But since that is not the case in the nation where everything is occurring, I am not surprised in any way by the involvement of the police. How a woman who complained that her child disappeared suddenly became the one who is defending herself against the commissioner. What has the commissioner got to do with this case? Seriously, in the Western world, I do not understand. Like I would state here, I have been in a case once. It was reported to the police. The police, all they said was it was a civil matter, and they backed off. So should the police commissioner had gone with the other people or myself? I don't know. But that will not happen in the Western world, a civilized nation. It definitely would not. But it's such a shame. That's the police commissioner. He's excited to place his name on documents claiming that he is having a case against this woman. Based on what? Where are the reports of the findings from maybe investigations that were carried out before the commissioner took it upon himself to take her to court? Of course, we mustn't forget all the billions that Jeremiah has to throw around. That commissioner must be swimming in a lot of money. Let us not forget Ruth's statement when on the very day or the day after when baby testimony vanished. The commissioner of police or whoever, someone who's top in the police department, said to her, this has always been happening. Eventually, they offered her 2 million naira to forget about the child. Let's not forget that. So Ruth Matthew decided not to collect that money. That was an opening, a window for those vultures in uniform, armed by the government, to cash in, cash out, however anyone wants to put it. So they are making so much money. I do not believe the friendship with Jeremiah is honest. It's the money that's coming, the source of them having more money to live comfortably as policemen, because that's something that's not the case with those law enforcement agents in that country. So it's really a shame that this is happening to the woman whose child is lost. Nevertheless, we believe, I know for a fact, that God is in this case. The people that will go down, that will collapse, will crash when this case finally culminates into where it should go. It will be mind-blowing. And this would be the case of the century for the world. Because I believe that God is sanitizing Nigeria. There is a great cleansing coming, because Africa must be liberated. Africa must be set free. So it has to start somewhere. And what better place for it to begin than Nigeria? So it's no surprise at all. But I just want to plead with everyone not to give up. It may look hopeless. It may look like the sun is not going to shine again. But let's not forget that when it looks like the sun isn't gonna shine anymore, he puts a rainbow in the sky. There is a silver lining. There is a rainbow in the sky. God is in the details. We will not give up. No matter the charges, this case will get to where it should go, and justice will be served, to the glory of our great God, who can always be trusted in all things, and we will find baby testimony. Thank you for your time today. God bless you.